Blog Talk Radio.
Everyone, stop! The show's about to start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of No Conduct Radio. Tonight's episode is named The New Launch. Although we are still on Blog Talk Radio, we are still going to be on Spreaker, on iHeartRadio, on YouTube. So we're still doing that, but we're still sticking to our common stomping grounds on Blog Talk Radio. As much as I want to get away from Blog Talk Radio, they keep sucking me back in. Oh, my God. So we're still here, but we're still going to do, even though we're still on Blog Talk, since we are still launching on the other platform as well, we're still going to do our contest as we promised. So we're going to do 4 weeks of contests, just giving away free stuff, free money, free gift certificates. You name it, you got it. Well, not you name it, you got it, but you know what I'm saying. So,
and
I'm just letting you know, don't be discouraged. We're still on Blog Talk Radio, so you don't have to go through hoops and bounds to find us. You'll still be able to hear us, but we are still going to be on other platforms. So we're still calling this our launch party. Yay! And boy, do I have a story for you about everything going on. Go ahead, Char.
Okay, so if I can add, even though that sounded really super confusing to our listeners, if you think it sounded confusing to you, imagine what we're going through. So if you guys can keep up with that, we're definitely not going to let you down. So thanks for being with us. If you checked over to the other side, we're back where we originally were for a minute. So thank you, everyone, for your support.
We're still here.
Okay.
Thank you for being patient with us. We love y'all.
Absolutely. What do we have in store, Kai, for today's show?
Okay, so like I said, today's the new launch, so we're still having contests. I'll tell you what the contest is a little bit later. We're going to answer your relationship questions, and we're going to continue talking about your craziest arguments that you've had, because last week we weren't able to go through that. Also, tonight we're talking about black women stereotypes. So that's what's on the docket for tonight. Right now we're joined by Kai, Char, and Logic. BJ has taken Char's place, and he's going to be fashionably late because he's coming from New York. And you know what happens in New York. He's doing some kind of, like, big deal with producers and clothing line and all that stuff. He's getting too big for us. So,
rubbing elbows, the right people, all the big people.
So he's going to be, like, fashionably
having champagne,
late.
Caviar. Right.
I want his life. Like, I don't want his life.
I have that life. You can have it right now. I've had it. I'm just trying to be a little more regular right these days. So, but good luck to BJ. We're very happy for him.
I like my home office. I don't like. Can you imagine driving to New York almost all the time? He has to drive 3 hours up there, 3 hours back. No, ma'am, that's not for me. No, I will stay right here. Logic.
Hello, old man Gruff. There he is.
You with the land of the living?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm just listening.
Oh, so let me tell my co-hosts and our listeners the ordeal I've had this week, which is another reason we're not on the other platform, and I just stuck with Blog Talk, and I'm doing the launch a different way because I just didn't get a chance to do it. So let me tell you what happened. So anybody who knows me knows I'm clumsy as I don't even know it. I am so clumsy, it's not even funny. My kid came out clumsy. I have 2 cats, and they're clumsy. Like, have you ever seen a cat that actually can't climb? Like, they'll climb and fall. Or my other cat ran face first into a couch and lost a tooth. So I think my clumsy rubs off.
Wow.
So I'm cooking dinner. I had chicken, in the pan, like frying up. I sliced up potatoes, had that in the pan going, and I started slicing onions to sprinkle over the potatoes so that, you could get the flavor of the onions and everything in those potatoes. Right. And I sliced off the frickin' top of my pinky finger, right along with those onions, just sliced it right off. So right now I'm walking around with, go ahead.
I have the nerve to, can I just add, I have the nerve to ask Kai when she shared this moment with me yesterday, I had the nerve to say, well, are you crying because of the onions or because you lost your tiptoe of your finger, the TP of your finger, something like that, the top of your finger. Because onions make you cry too.
The funny thing is, though, I didn't cry. I didn't cry at all. I think I was just in shock because it happened and I'm just looking at my finger and it's just bleeding. I ran to the bathroom, held it over the sink, and then my mom's a nurse. So I have, the staples in my house. I have iodine, I have bacitracin, I have peroxide, I have alcohol, stuff like that. And not the alcohol that Char drinks. So I ran to the bathroom, held my finger over the sink. It's just bleeding, and I just poured iodine all over it. And then I called my mom. And apparently I sounded like I was crying because I told her the next day, I wasn't crying. I was just staring at my finger sitting there bleeding. And she said I sounded like I was crying. And, she told me everything to do. So the only time I cried is she has me soaking it in, iodine. So I have to soak it in a water and iodine solution. And once you put it in there, because it's just an open, freaking deep wound, the nerves, and you already know your fingertips are sensitive, so the nerves just contract. And oh my God, it feels like my hand is on fire. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I was just walking back and forth crying, and my daughter's freaking out because I'm sitting there crying. I don't know, and I have to do this twice a day. So imagine the pain that I go through twice a day. So whenever it's in that soak, it's burning beyond belief. And then when it has to air dry, the air hitting it is burning it beyond belief. Right. So, yeah. And needless to say, that's why we're not on our new platform. I haven't been able to do any work for the past couple days. I can't do anything. This is my right hand, and I'm now doing everything with my left hand. So I'm just uber slow with everything. My daughter, I had to drop her off to school this morning. I had to drop her off to school this morning and then come home, make her lunch, and then go back and drop her lunch off. I'm at half speed right now, and it's frustrating because, you know me, I'm a person who I do 5 things at the same time. Right now I could barely do one, and I'm so frustrated it's not even funny. But I keep reminding myself that
Imagine how left-handed people feel.
Wait. Let me just say this real quick. I keep reminding myself that it could be worse and to not get frustrated or annoyed or anything because I could have, cut an artery or stabbed myself in the neck or something. So it could have been way worse than this, and so I'm just trying to be patient throughout all this. And, I know our listeners understand why we're still on Blog Talk. So instead of going through this hassle ever again, we're just going to stay on Blog Talk. So we're not putting anybody through anything. So I just want to thank y'all for being patient with us. And, usually when people get affected with stuff, now they start donating to the cause that they were affected to. For instance, people with breast cancer. They didn't think about breast cancer before they had it. Now they have breast cancer. They're like, we're going to donate to every breast cancer fund. So I cut off my little finger. Now I'm going to donate to every person who's missing a little finger. That's the thing to do, isn't it? As soon as you get it, you got to start donating. So, yeah, that's been kind of my week. So
I'm trying to get a visual, though. Can we get a visual? Can we get a visual on the finger?
I don't know if y'all want a visual because I've been.
No, I don't mean. No, I don't mean literally. I mean, can you kind of just meet us halfway? Now, are we talking about an actual slice off the top, across the top where your nail is? Are we talking about just where the skin is, maybe going down about a good inch? I mean, are you literally missing a portion of the finger? That would be terrifying.
No, I'm literally missing a portion of my finger. It's the top of the finger where the nail is, and that whole nail and the skin and some flesh under there is gone.
Okay, but how does that? I mean, how do you? Whoa. I'm just trying to follow you. That sounds so creepy. What are you supposed to do about that? Can you get like a graft on it to try to, kind of give you a little bit more flex?
They said it'll grow back. It'll probably take a year before I'm fully healed, but they said it'll grow back. But the hows of how I did it was, do y'all know, okay, if y'all look on TV or I guess Amazon, there's this tool that you could just easily slice like your vegetables. So it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's a slicer.
Yeah, I have
whatever.
that. I think I probably ordered that one a week ago. Yeah, it's slicer.
So I haven't used it in a while, and I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about a dozen different things at the time, and I haven't used it in a while, so I forgot to put on the slice guard over the onion, and I was just slicing the onion without the slice guard on it, and it just sliced my finger. So that's what happened.
You do know that lizards grow their own tail back, so why would our finger grow? I didn't know that a finger can grow itself or any limb. Well, is it just a finger per se, or is it like limbs in general, do you think?
So if you look at your nail. So the nail is gone, the skin under the nail, so the nail bed, and then flesh under there. So from what I understand, it's going to grow back, but it's just going to grow back really weird looking.
Wow. Okay, now this left-handed thing, what I was saying, and when I was kind of like almost really interrupting you, sorry about that, guys. Okay, woohoo. So, yeah, but I'm left-handed, so I don't know who else on the panel is left-handed. Anyone that we know?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why I was saying welcome to my world, because things are rather awkward. But maybe I think it's more awkward if I try to do certain things with my right hand, So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm left-handed.
If you were doing everything with your right hand, then you'll feel how I feel right now. Yeah. So it's been a chore. I can't get this finger wet. I can't get this finger. And then every time I do something, I'm hitting the finger. Like you jab the end of your pinky finger all of the time. And then the pain that I get in, like last night I was wide awake until I soaked it, and that pain went through my hand, and it laid me out. Like I was just gone, sleeping. So I've been in and out of consciousness, can't really work because the pain is just putting me to sleep. I don't know why pain puts you to sleep. That's really weird. But the pain has just been putting me to sleep. I haven't been able to work. I just haven't been able to do anything. I can't cook.
Sure. I know you can't type unless you peck with your other finger.
I can't type. I'm pecking, and which is annoying because I type like 70 words a minute. So now cut that in like half.
Yeah.
And I'm like
or third or quarter.
And it's also hard because my keyboard, I use my keyboard so much that most of the letters are gone. Like I can't see it, but I don't type with looking. So now that I have to type with looking, I'm like, where is the A? You know what I'm saying? So it's
yeah, you're going by memory. Your fingers were going by memory. But how do you have it protected now? So what do you have, like a gauze? What's on there? So you don't keep stubbing it.
A special Band-Aid, and I have to take it off and, soak it and put the medicine back on, put the Band-Aid back on, yeah. And I have to get a tetanus shot and a bunch of stuff. It's just.
So has Logic fell asleep yet on this story? Logic, did you fall asleep yet on this story? I thought I heard snoring back there. Logic.
No.
Hi, can we have a little sound
Actually, I
effect
just
there?
got a message asking if we could hear him, and we can't hear you, Logic.
Oh, okay. Earth to Logic.
Yeah, he'll be back. He was just asking if we could hear him. I guess he was trying to say something. But anyway, needless to say, So, first of all, as clumsy as I am, I'm surprised it took all these years for this to happen. Second of all, so I'm soaking my hand in the iodine solution, right? I have a Bluetooth in my ear. So now the solution so picture this. The solution is in front of me. Your ear is on the side, so it's on the right-hand side of my head. The solution is in front of me on my leg. Somehow, my Bluetooth came out of my ear, jumped over thin air, and fell into the bowl of the solution. So I'm now without a Bluetooth also. I was like, how does this happen to me?
Oh, your wireless device was in a liquid that destroyed it.
Yeah, but the thing is, it wasn't even in an area where it should have fallen. It should have just fallen straight down. It could have fallen on the floor. It could have fallen on on the chair next to me. No, it fell, and somehow instead of going straight down, it did it did it at a forward projected angle into the bowl of iodine. I
now
it's
a disinfected Bluetooth. It's a totally disinfected Bluetooth at this point. So
I think one of C's ghosts have followed me, and they're just messing with me. I don't know. Logic, are you there? I want to see if we can hear you now.
Logic, hang up and call back, please.
He did. I don't know why we can't
hang up
hear
and
him.
call back again. Well, hang up and call back again and turn your volume up. If I piss him off enough, he'll definitely somehow disconnect.
We heard him when he was first on. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we've all had tech issues on this show. I know I have. Plenty of
yes,
times.
This is why I didn't want to be on Blog Talk anymore. But, like I said.
No.
Maybe it's them. Maybe they sent
issues.
their ghost to keep me on Blog Talk. Huh. Ever thought about that?
Yeah.
No?
They must like you on Blog Talk. People like us on Blog Talk, so it's good.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway, we're going to be doing a new launch contest. So after all my drama, let's talk about this contest. So today's contest will be, and like I said, every week we're going to be doing a contest. Should we wait for Logic to come back on before we talk about the contest?
Yeah, let's let him be a part of it. So in the meantime, if we could segue into the news a little bit, I'm sure that some of you have heard about this sergeant that was actually a Green Beret in our military, and somehow or the other, he and I believe 3 other of his team were in Niger, which is located, I want to say it's North Africa.
Niger or Nigeria, which one?
No, not Nigeria. Niger. It's pronounced Niger.
Okay.
Some people say Niger, but it's Niger or Niger, but not Nigeria because it does sound similar. This is way the other direction. But what I'm saying is that just imagine this. So as the thing
what in the world?
Is Logic there? Is Logic there? Hello? Logic.
No, Logic's not here. No, he's not here. Go ahead.
Okay, I heard some feedback. Okay, so here's the dilemma. This is the dilemma. Imagine this. All 4 soldiers were, they were ambushed, I should have said, by an army there in the area, obviously a Niger. I can't say Nigerian army because now it sounds like I'm saying Nigerian. So I'll just say a Niger army. How did that happen? They were ambushed. Literally, I think it was something like 20 or 30 men or maybe more, and there was only, less than 12 of them. No, I want to say, was there more? Maybe 100. Anyway, they were ambushed. All 4 of the soldiers were killed and probably tortured in some manner, especially the sergeant. Now, I've heard a few theories that are saying this is political in the sense of it being racist. But what are the chances that the one person, the one hero, if you will, fallen hero, okay, that happened to be African American, was not found for 2 days when the helicopter, the heliflight, they came in to, one moment, sorry guys for the phone ringing. They came in to pick up the other bodies and to rescue, I should say. And for whatever reason, they cannot find this sergeant. I believe his name is LaDavid Johnson, something to that effect. But anyway, and he was only 23 years old, by the way, but he was the highest rank out of all of them. Okay, Green Beret as they all were, but he was also a sergeant. So they couldn't find him. And there was some talk about, maybe he's missing. Let's just let it go. So they basically left him there for dead. His family was not informed that he was even, killed or ambushed or what have you for 2 days. And meanwhile, the president made a point of contacting the family members of the other 3. But when he finally did get in touch with this particular fallen hero, apparently he says to the wife, the grieving wife, who's also pregnant, by the way, with their baby, and she has 2 other young, very little ones, he says to her in a phone call that was actually, I think this phone call might be taped, but it just so happens that there was a congresswoman or something that was in the area who wanted to come and see and look after this lady, the wife. And so apparently President Trump said, well, he knew what he signed up for. though, to his wife.
Yeah.
Either to his wife or to the congresswoman, excuse me. And, yeah, as a matter of fact, he was speaking to the congresswoman, but it was on speaker. Lo and behold, he didn't know that. And so he says, well, he knew what he signed up for. There was no, I'm so sorry to hear of your loss. There was no, he was a hero for our country. He fought for a cause. There was no, he was a Green Beret at the highest rank. He was respected and revered. There was no, we're sorry we didn't look for him nor find him nor take him up with the others when we rescued them. Well, not rescued, but when we recovered the bodies. And then come to find out when something very similar happened, I think it was a year ago, once again, politically speaking, another African American, the president particularly made a phone call to all the others that were taken out, fallen, that had died, but not to this particular family either. It's like he's overlooking families of certain races, but then giving credence to those that are, obviously not black. So that's what they're saying. This is not my opinion. This is just what they're tossing up in the media. But when you really look at the facts, it does look a little odd. And even the fact that he's so cold with that response. I mean, who does that? You have to have some kind of a heart to be a president. And you're going to deal with situations like this. Maybe he needs to be scripted with how to deal with grief, in war. All right, so any thoughts?
I don't think he needs to be scripted. Anybody with half a brain and any kind of morals will be able to say something. Oh, I'm so sorry. I couldn't imagine how that feels. Anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy he served his country. We'll definitely do all we can to look for something. He doesn't need to be scripted. He's just a moron and a racist. Eesh. And the people who sit there and put up for him are just as racist as he is.
But can you believe that he knew what he signed up for with his comment? That was the best he can do.
That was his comment to his grieving wife, to the grieving wife.
Yeah.
Now, Trump hasn't done any kind of service, by the way. None.
Right.
He's
a businessman, 100%.
Talking out his ass. He hasn't done any kind of service. I don't know if he was called. I don't know how that works. If he was called for the secret, the selective service, and he didn't go, I don't know. But he never served anything.
No, he got out of the draft by
there he is.
By doing what?
By saying he had bone spurs in his feet.
Bone spurs,
he couldn't remember which.
Oh, honorable discharge? Okay.
Well, not even a discharge. He wasn't in it. He didn't go because he said he had bone spurs.
Oh, I see. He never made it. Oh, I see. Okay.
No.
Well, medically, he couldn't fit the bill.
But he wants to sit there and talk about. He wants to sit there and talk about. He knew what he signed up for. Douchebag.
No, Logic. Can you enlighten us? If you. Oh, go ahead, Ty.
I was just going to say, there's still people backing him. They don't care. People don't care. If they had said that about some, 20-year-old white boy, they would have, oh, my God, I can't believe you said that.
Right, exactly. But Logic, my question to you is this. Can you enlighten anything that I've presented in the story, or can you correct anything in the story that perhaps I left out or that I didn't quite get right from what you might have heard? And I'm sure you heard about this because it is breaking news. Since earlier yesterday.
I just called back. I have no idea what she said.
She's talking about the guy who was basically lost in war, and Trump said, he to his wife, to the guy's wife, he knew what he signed up for. Instead of saying, I'm sorry for your loss, or he died in bravery, or we're going to do something to find him, or anything like that.
Well, not only that, Kai, but he happened to be African American. He was left for 2 extra days when all the other soldiers that had fallen, that had died, that were killed, that were ambushed, were taken out of the jungle in Nigeria. And their bodies were recovered. And this family, it's just like, oh, whatever, he's out there somewhere. Oh, maybe he's still alive. Oh, who knows? Who cares? And then not only that, but there was never the president, from what I'm hearing on newscasts and all of that, he made a point to send a letter to the families of the other 3, as well as a personal call. But with this one, the only reason he finally called is everyone said, why didn't you call and say anything to this family? And the other African-American soldier prior to this, just last year, never did he receive a letter, a phone call, nothing, and he was completely forgotten when all the others were really praised, or not just praised, but they were recognized is what I meant to say. So with that said, add that to the very ill-fated comment, very distasteful that he did, I mean, that's his display of affection, I guess, or concern. Actually, he doesn't have to be concerned or affectionate, but just be human.
Yeah, just be a human.
Right.
But, most people don't think, well, I don't know. Some people don't think black people are human, so if you ask them, they are being human.
The fact that he was the highest rank, maybe that kind of rubbed Trump a little funny. He was a black man who's the highest rank and the youngest. And once again, the second time he's done this, it's just like, leave him out there to die. Okay, he's dead. Okay, good. Leave him out there. Let him rot. Kind of like that out in Nigeria.
I kind of heard what happened.
You did?
I kind of heard what happened, but I didn't really know all of that. I knew he said, he knew what he signed up for, but I didn't know everything about it because I don't read up on Trump any longer. When he was when he first became president, I did every day, and I had heartburn every day because I just couldn't believe this was the person running our country. And the second thing is, and I know I might get logic kind of backlash from this, black people don't do crap about crap. So anybody could say anything and do anything to black people. The only thing that's going to happen is they're going to just start marching. The hell does that accomplish? So I honestly don't care. So if they're not going to do anything about it, why am I going to care? All they'll do is talk about it. It'll be forgotten in the news because we're going to have a tornado somewhere, and that's it.
In Honduras.
So why would I care? He said that to the woman. The woman's going to cry, say, I can't believe it. Let's go to what's his name? Let's go to the black Muslim guy. What's his name?
Farrakhan.
Yeah, let's go to Farrakhan, or let's go to Minister, whatever the crap his name is. Those people who don't even care what's going on with you, they're just doing it so you could pay them, and they're just doing it for the publicity also. They don't follow up with anything or get anything done. So let's just go to them. They'll say a couple words. They'll say, oh, we're so outraged by this, shake a fist at the camera. And then tomorrow it'll be forgotten because, some guy went in the store and won the lottery or some crap. So I honestly don't care.
Well, Kai, not to add salt to the wound, that's no pun intended on your your finger, not your little finger, but your finger there. But to add salt to the wound, apparently Trump is denying the allegations of what he said, and he was on speaker. There was more than one witness. And he says, I didn't say that. Well, yeah, but he says, in fact, it was a nice young lady, and she really appreciated my phone call, and she has nothing. Right. Well, when she approached the subject again, she said, listen, he absolutely did say that, and he is lying. I did not say I'm okay with this. Not at all. So, that's who's running our country, America. You got to love it.
Again,
we wonder why so many Americans are moving to Europe.
But we are letting him run the country. First of all, nobody is really calling him out of it on his crap. Nobody is doing anything about it. He can say and do whatever he wants, and then he says fake news, and guess what? His followers are, more persistent than people who aren't following him. So I know there's the creator of Hustler magazine. He's offering $10 million to anybody who can come up with information on Trump, because he's like, I know people knew Trump before he was president. He's offering $10 million for anybody that can give information that will lead to the impeachment of Donald Trump. I got to say, if I knew anything, I'd be $10 million richer.
So you don't mean anything very small, like grab them by the vaginas, nothing that petty. You mean something real juicy.
That will lead to the impeachment of Donald Trump.
Like some emails that were some secret, emails or secret meetings or, wow.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Yeah.
So I wonder if anybody's going to take him up on that.
It doesn't matter what they do. They're not going to impeach him. It's not going to happen. As far as
why do you think they're not going to impeach him?
It's because there's too much politics involved. It's going to require too many senators and people to get behind that. You can't just get enough people to say, I don't like this guy, and then they just impeach him. It doesn't happen that way. So
that's not that
simple. Yeah, it has to be certain provisions and things that are met of why this person is a threat to the country in this position that they're in as commander-in-chief. And no politician is going to open himself up to the backlash of these radical, I don't even want to say radical, but these deep red state Republicans who don't have a problem. Honestly, I mean, as much as you're talking about it, there is a good contingent of people that really just they don't mind what he's saying. It may even be something that says, oh, well, he should have said that. That's, a little crass. But they're acting as if like he's not a bad guy. If you ask your average, redneck from the South, they don't have a problem with anything that Trump's doing or saying. It's the same manic support that you saw for Obama from Democratic people and black people and everything like that. It's the same. This is their Obama, whom in their eyes he can't do anything wrong or say anything messed up because he's their guy. He's talking like them. He has their same ideals. So it's not going to happen. So people just, need to accept he's in here. I don't know. I would be shocked but not amazed if he made it for a second term. But this is what it is. I mean, he's always been that same guy that just has his mouth open saying crazy stuff. It's been like that ever since the late 80s, early 90s. He's just an obnoxious person. But this is a good sign. And I don't say a good sign, but this is a good opportunity for people to see what the real climate of this country is, because I've heard a lot of black people try to act as if racism is dead and we're all even. Like I remember Will Smith said, I'm disappointed, that I waited so long because for a long time I felt like I could have been the first black president. Talking about Obama getting it. And it was in
Are
jest.
you serious?
Yeah, it was in jest, but
an obnoxious.
I do think it's possible that he has lived such an insulated life that he really does not realize that there's a good chunk of this country that doesn't care what kind of movies he does. In the end of the day, he has the wrong skin color. So there's a lot of black people that live that kind of life, that just really has no idea that, no, you can't go wherever you want. You can't, what I mean? There's a big group of people who just don't like you. You look at all of these, they call themselves Southern purists, or I believe in patriotism. Listen to this oxymoron. I believe in patriotism, but they have a rebel flag in their house that they put up on the wall or something, which is the antithesis of patriotism in this country, because they wanted to secede and break up the Union. So that doesn't make any sense to me, or they'll have Nazi swastikas, which Nazis were trying to destroy United States soldiers. They killed over 100,000 of them. On the beaches of Normandy and all of those. So,
but again, it just goes back to, like I was saying last week, people don't know their history. They jump on a bandwagon, and that's all it is.
But also
they actually
cowardice.
Have no idea what they're talking about.
But it's also cowardice, because people also don't want to admit, like, you have a lot of white people that aren't racist, a lot of them. But then you have some white people that are. And those, I'll say the frothing at the mouth racists that will beat somebody on camera, and they don't care if if they're racist or not. Those are the kind that don't care. But you have a big group of white people, or I won't just say white people, but you'll have a big group of people, period, because this can be white, Spanish, Asian, even Native American, if you can believe it or not, that don't like black people. But they won't admit it. They'll say, oh, well, this sounds bad. I was watching this documentary about, what was it? Section 8 housing. There's a county in Texas, and there's a big patch of land where these different developers were trying to get in there, and they were talking about the disparities of public assistance when it comes to people that need houses and stuff like that, or whatever. This builder would come in, they were doing construction, and the local residents found out that they were setting aside less than a quarter of the apartment units that they were building. These are upscale apartment complex. But there was a couple of units in the complex they were building that they were setting aside for Section 8. The community decided to do everything they can to bar them. And they were saying that, if we paid X amount of money here and we just don't want those Section 8 type people around here. Section 8 type people, right?
Wow.
So then the woman asked, well, what is it that you are worried about? And the first thing out of this woman's mouth is, this is going to make me sound racist, but, there's a certain type of element that, is on Section 8 and, that requires government assistance, and we don't, those are like undesirables around here and blah, blah, blah. Now, my thing is, if you wanted to say, I got a problem with it because I paid $400,000 for my house and I don't want just people that could just sit around and do nothing and have a place right down the street, that's understandable. But the minute that you say those type people, then now you're making that a racial thing. As if the only people that need help with housing in this country are black people or whomever you're deciding. I would be shocked if she was referring to Asians. You know what I mean? So we already know more than likely she was thinking about black people. And the honesty of it is black people don't make up the majority of people that are requiring Section 8 because we're a minority. So how can we be a majority of an assistance program by the government? We're not. But this is the racism that goes all the way back to real estate redlining and all of the stuff that they used to do, making it illegal for black people to move in certain zip codes. So, but this is the tradition in this country, is to hate and divide. So now, fast forward to this point, it doesn't shock me when I hear the president said this and how many people agree with him and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't shock me because this country is built on racism, and it was something that they still won't admit to or face. And you're right. I'm not going to give you any backlash. Black people, largely, are not going to do anything. They're going to sit around. Something's going to happen. They're going to say, that ain't right. And Al Sharpton's going to say something ridiculous like, if one black person is offended, we all are offended. And then break the commercial.
And then that's it. Never heard from it again. Yeah. So, anyways, I guess we'll get away from this grim topic because we're talking about it and we are...
It's not grim. Look, it's not grim, and this is the problem. Like, so many people, I don't want to talk about that because it's going to bother you, but that's the point. There's things in your life that's going on or things in the world that's happening that's nasty. You got Palestine. You got all these different things happening in Africa. You got, obviously, the cop situation and all this other stuff. People don't want to deal with it because it's not something fun and happy and everything like that. And when you go around in your life just chasing fun and happiness and you don't deal with things that are a problem, they metastasize. And this is why Trump is in office right now, because our government is so corrupt. And they have lowered the bar so much that now he's in there. A game show host is in there.
That's the best way to describe him. I would totally agree with that. And that's entertainment. It's all entertainment to him. This is a game. Once a game, and we're the pawns on the board.
Well, what I was saying was I wasn't saying that, let's get away from this grim topic. What I was going to come back and say was, even though it is a grim topic and we're putting it out there for, because that's what No Conduct Radio is about. We talk about stuff that most people don't want to talk about. But my thing is also, nothing's going to be done about it. Like, black people are going to be there, yeah, you tell it. And that's about it. That's it. That's all that's going to happen. I just get sick and tired of it, personally.
Absolutely.
And like you said, we'll start marching. It'll be the 2 million men march instead of the million men march. We'll march.
If
gather everybody together.
If black people would, black women, period, just black women, if black women would invest half the money that they spend on weaves a year on putting into a presidential candidate, you're talking about a presidential candidate that has $500 million behind them to run for office. Because black women spend over $1 billion a year on weaves in this country alone. So if you invested that, or like black men, they buy the $300 pair of Jordans, and if you invest half of that into a candidate for office, I don't care if it's the governor, if it's the DA or anything. Like, when you start investing in your future, when you start putting candidates out there that are going to have your best interest in mind, and they're not going to be these charlatans like Clinton who will show up at the Arsenio Hall show, break out a saxophone, and all of a sudden they got the black vote. If you actually have a person that is going to have your interest in mind, these kind of things will start disappearing. But that requires work, commitment, and diligence, which that's not fun. Just like everything else we talk about, in order to have a successful relationship with the person, it takes work, diligence, and dedication. You know what I mean? You have to put your own fun to the side for a moment. You can't go out and just hang with the boys or go shake your tail feather with your girls. You have to sit around. You have to figure out what's wrong with you, because there's something wrong with you, because there's something wrong with all of us. You have to figure out how to communicate properly. You have to figure out if you have demons in your life from your childhood that is affecting how you're dealing with things, and then you have to figure out how to fix those things while actively communicating with your partner. That's too much work. All we need to worry, we just want to run out and do she look good in the dress or does he look good in the suit? And we're going to smash and bang each other until this relationship doesn't work anymore. That's how people deal with stuff. I'm going to be at this job, and I know I make X amount a month, so I'm going to ride the line of how much I make, and then I'll do something crazy like have a baby with no plan, and it'll throw my whole situation in disarray instead of me thinking and making the right decisions at the time. No, that's not fun. I want to go out and have fun. I want to just do fun stuff. Fun all the time.
Fun.
That's why the world is the way it is. That's terrible. I can't believe slavery used to exist. Did I tell you I got a new iPhone that's built in China with slave labor from Walmart? That uses slave labor too? Yeah. They got
I make minimum wage and I bought an iPhone that cost $800.
Yeah, or what's coming up? Black Friday. I'm going to go to Walmart and act like a fool and trample people so I can get a flat screen TV made of slave labor for $150. They got them deals.
Yeah, sounds about right to me.
Yeah.
But BJ's here.
Yeah.
Welcome back
BJ
from
got
the
here.
city. Right.
He came on the show sounding like Darth Vader.
Are you taking autographs today or what?
What?
Are you taking autographs today? Or are you giving autographs with that? How do I say that? I used to do autographs and I can't remember how to say it.
Giving autographs.
Yeah.
Autographs.
I don't give them or take them. I don't give them or take them. So I'm not interested.
Oh, okay.
I never was. This is,
Anyways.
We have nothing but love for you, Big Shot. So anyway, they'll catch you up because we've been talking politics for a while.
Oh, really?
Hey, BJ, you can be like Jordan and tell people I only take pictures with women.
Seriously?
Basically.
Wait, what is that?
Oh yeah, Jordan's a jerk. You haven't heard?
No.
Crazy.
What did he say?
He'll straight up tell a male fan to get out of his face.
I know. They buying the sneakers.
Yeah.
Wow. No, I didn't know. Why do these people buy his stuff?
And he's still buying
Right.
sneakers.
To the tune of $200 a pair of sneakers for one pair.
200.
Good
More than
Lord.
that.
300.
Anyways,
Okay, well, if you're, if you're
we're 45 minutes in. We're 45 minutes in. So we haven't even discussed the contest. So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss the contest.
What's the
and we're going to
contest?
go to commercial real quick.
Going out with Char? Oh, okay. I think with Char? That was the contest? Oh, yeah, that was last week.
Day. That's the land of the living. The land of the living on No Contact. Lots going on.
So we're going to discuss the contest. So we're going to, I keep saying this. We're going to discuss the contest, then we're going to go to commercial, then we're going to come back. So the contest is the first person to either text in or call with a Charanism will receive a $25 gift certificate to the restaurant of your choice. And when I say a Charanism, I mean a phrase that only Char says. It could be an incorrectly said phrase, incorrectly said word, or something that Char has said in past shows that only Char can say. So the first person to text in or call in with a Charanism will get a $25 gift certificate to a restaurant of your choice. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go to commercial. And if you are calling in, you can call in at 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. If you want to text in, you can text at 484-840-3627. Or
this was not my idea.
You can hit us up on Twitter or Facebook at No Conduct Radio. First person to say a Charanism from past shows will get this gift certificate. We'll be right back.
Kai here. I just wanted to share this book with you by Nicholas Sogard called Architect of My Own Rise, Personal Development, that I found on Amazon. It's actually 5 stars. It has 5 stars, so you know it's good. You can either get it on Kindle, or if you're like me and actually like the feel of a book in your hand, you can get it on paperback. I'm just going to go ahead and just read you a little bit about this book. I'll take you through a long and contradictory series of thoughts. Some might make sense, others not. Some might please you, some might irritate the shit out of you. But I, for one, would never read a book on how a 25-year-old guy sees the world, what his internal endeavors are, and, most importantly, how he deals with them. So this book is cleverly written by Nicholas Sogard, as I said before. It's funny, and it just gives insight on the character's life development, how he overcame, obstacles in his life. And funny thing is, he's from Transylvania. So if you don't know anything about Transylvania, this will tell you about, life in Transylvania and how he grew up, just different aspects of his life. Now, you'll ask yourself why you want to hear about somebody's life. However, if somebody writes it correctly, just like Nicholas did, you'll find it a clever and funny journey throughout the life of a 25 going on 26-year-old. So I would check it out if I were you. Architect of My Own Rise, Personal Development by Nicholas Sogard. You can find it on Amazon, and actually go to our website, www.noconduct.com, go to authors, and you'll see his book right there. Check it out.
And we're back. And somebody was just making the most noise throughout the commercial. Who was that? Nobody wants to dress up.
That's fine.
It was me. It was me. I was sending a text to Kai.
Because I muted you, Char. I initially thought it was you. I muted you, and the noise kept going.
It was me.
Sorry. I think it was me. And I feel like the contest is too easy. That's what I was saying for everybody.
I was putting papers away. I was putting papers away. My bad.
Shame on you. Papers away, putting them away. Shame on you. The contest is too easy. Anyone can text. Can we review the contest here? Anyone can text. It should be mandatory to call in with your Charism or Charnism or whatever that was. And I promise you I did that. I had nothing to do with it. It was not my idea. But I really believe they should call. Get involved. Our callers are known to, our listeners are known to hide behind a text for years now. Come out behind that text, behind the cell phone, behind the computer.
Well,
reveal yourself.
I think this is harder than you think, because I'm getting a bunch of texts saying that it's on the tip of everybody's tongue and they can't think about it. So this is what I'm getting. Now you're asking them to call in on top of that? So I'll give it till 7:05 and we'll see what we get. All you have to do, the contest is you have to come up with a Charnism. Something that Char has said in a past show, like a word that she pronounced incorrectly, a phrase that was completely wrong that only Char would say. You have to, and I don't mean, because I had a listener text in saying, hold on, people tell me I'm gorgeous all the time. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like a word she says incorrectly or a phrase she used incorrectly. So this is what I'm talking about when I say Charnism. So you have to come up with a Charnism that she's used in past shows, and you can call in at 607-203-5378 or text in at 484-840-3627. Should we up the ante and say if they call in, you get a $50 gift certificate, and if they text in, they get $25? Should we do that, Char?
That's fair. We can do that. No Contact has an unlimited budget for all you listeners out there. So I say we up the ante. What do you think, guys? Logic, BJ? Logic, BJ?
Okay, so if you call in with a Charnism, it's a $50 gift certificate that you win. If you text in, it's going to be a $25. So call in. It's 607-203-5378, 607-203-5378. If you're texting, that's 484-840-3627. All right, so while we're waiting for everybody to think about this, let us continue with the craziest arguments that you've had with your partner. So take a guess, Logic. What is one of the craziest things that you think guys have had to endure in terms of an irrational reason a woman got mad at them?
Jealousy.
Oh, God, that's number one. Damn.
You're an ass. All right,
that's number one. Jeez.
So, okay, here's one. This is one that I've heard a lot of. And I got to say it happened to me, but I was trying to keep it together because I knew it was illogical. So this person says, in a dream she had, so that's just how it starts off. In a dream she had, I somehow pissed her off. That translated into a real-world fight. How can she hold me accountable for the actions of a dream?
Wow.
I have so far, I had two stories about that. Actually, a woman wrote in. She said she had a dream that her husband cheated, and she was pissed when she woke up. She was pissed at him, but then later on in the day, she had to admit that it was illogical because it was a dream, and she had to apologize to him.
What? So. Damn. Apology more than apology.
So then this is a woman. She says, it was a 3-year long relationship. This is the craziest argument I've had with him, after which I had no options but to break up with him. She said she's an atheist, but he expects me as well as my parents to convert to his faith. He argues that it's okay and easy for me to pretend to have his beliefs since I'm an atheist after all. And to please him, it is only fair for me to try and convert to his belief and persuade my family too. Mind you, all these were not said as black and white as I would put them above. They were masked with super sweet words before they were put in front of me. The breakup went with me quite bad. I still have not moved on from the breakup. Also, I resolved not to date anybody who is religious. however awesome they might be.
Wow.
Well, that was her argument.
But do atheists
You
have
know
beliefs?
what? Hold on. Listen, I'm calling shenanigans on that one. First of all, when you got involved with the dude, you knew he was religious.
Right,
and
exactly.
You're surprised that you had an argument about faith? Like, that's a crazy argument that you had? No. A crazy argument is when you're, at a diner, you tip the chick, for service or whatever, and you leave and your girl is convinced that you want to bang this chick behind the dumpster. And, why did you tip her so much? And what? That's a crazy argument. That's something that you can't even see coming. You're an atheist, and the dude is super religious, sounds like. What's wrong with you? What are you talking about? Get off the line.
And
delete that message. She's an idiot.
Yeah, and she won't date anybody that's religious. I don't know, man. Her pickings is slim.
Out of here with that.
Okay, another one says, this one's a guy. He said, every freaking one of them. Some people can truly beat you with experience. They know how to argue and how to push you into a corner. And when you lash out in your own defense, you guessed it, you're the wrong one. Having a relationship with someone having 2 failed marriages under their belt gave me a new perspective. But unfortunately, I didn't see this until the postmark was on my ass and I was lugging my baggage. I was not fluent in personality disorder. She beat me out hands down. You just never see this stuff coming. I think back today with guilt that I've forgiven myself since wondering how the heck I said and did some of the things that I did. Then I took to her failed relationships, and I see exactly the same behavior that happened with me. I was just a replacement piece of a broken puzzle. This, too, is why I say that every relationship has a reason for happening and plays out as it does. I guess he's not getting to the crazy part.
Listen, another cop-out. Another cop-out. Here goes first and messing with a broken woman, and then they're trying to say, I see the fact that she had relationships. Shut up. You didn't see some chick that was in shambles, and you let your life get so intertwined that you're, quote, lugging baggage, and that's when it hits you? You're an idiot. Delete that message too. He's an idiot.
and he fell in love with it. Exactly. It's just stupid.
Oh my God, I can't.
Yeah, all I can say there is she must have had a hell of a bedroom game.
Bunch of bumbling idiots.
Why do a lot of people say that though? That's what I want to know. Why do a lot of people say that? He's with her because she had a hell of a bedroom game.
Well, all that what he just said.
That's what people do. But listen, women do it too. Don't even try to pepper it like the guys. No, women too. Women will get fixated on a dude. He doesn't have to be the best dude in bed, but it's the fact of that's the object of her desire at the moment, and a lot of women are possessive. So if there's a dude that is not submitting to a relationship, there's a lot of chicks that look at that like, I'm going to get this man, and he ain't going to get man. And they get fixated on it, and they start doing whatever it takes to get this guy to be in a relationship. And there's a psychologist that said when you meet people, there's a certain part of your mind that's analyzing this person. Be it for friendship or business, whatever the case may be. The minute you start having sex with that person, that part of your brain shuts down, and you can no longer logically assess that person.
Exactly.
Because you're having sex with them. And they said a growing problem that's going to be a real issue for this generation is women are so comfortable with having sex with so many partners that there's still a pair bonding reflex in the brain that when a woman starts to have sex with a man, she starts to emotionally imprint with him, which is what is kind of like the glue for that relationship, that kind of, the glue for the pair bonding. But women are having sex with so many dudes, and then stop it, and then having sex with another one, and then stop it, and then having sex with another one, and then stop it. And they start to lose the ability to be able to bond with a person. So when they do find one that should stick, she doesn't know how to make it stick anymore because she's broken that rhythm and that natural rhythm in herself where she can bond.
Didn't know that. Well, let's see. Let's see if you approve of this one.
Wait a minute.
Okay, one of my ex-partners and I have a reality issue. I've been there. We were friends first.
Hold up.
We were friends first, and she initiated a physical relationship. She came over to my house and made a very direct advance, and I responded in kind. I have zero doubts that she initiated. The problem is that she tells people that I initiated it and that I have tried many times before, and finally she gave in. We only dated briefly and both met our spouses right after we went back to being friends. We have argued about it many times, but since she is still married and I am not, I do not argue the issue in front of her husband to anyone or to anyone else for that matter. But when we are alone on our occasional meetings for lunch, we always have a brief exchange where I call her a liar and she swears on her kids that she told the truth. It's just funny now. We both know what happened, but when she told the story to her now husband early in the relationship, she did not know they would end up married with 4 kids. It's now 7 years later. I could tell her husband the truth, but then I would be a bad friend.
What? After 7 years?
I have so many questions on that.
You better let them say it.
Why you still friends? Oh.
Don't act as if the truth is eating away at you because you're a scumbag. You decided to bang some chick and then act like you're friends and shake hands with her husband. Like you're just some guy that, if you ever need help with your gutters, just give me. You banged his wife, sir. What are you still around for?
I know. Yeah, why you still friends? You know?
You're a scumbag. Delete the message.
It's stupid. Hey.
Wow.
I'm going to pull up with bricks tied to your feet now. Jump in a lake with bricks tied to your feet.
Logic doesn't like any of these messages.
These people are stupid.
Let's hear him.
Listen, no, hold on. Think about what you just said. He dug this chick out on a couch or something somewhere, smashed her silly, and now she's with some guy, married to some dude, and they have, first of all, dig the pimp game, how she pimp smacks her husband emotionally and tells a story about how he initiated a sexual relationship, and they laugh about it. First of all, I'd have kicked my wife out the house for that. Wait a minute, hold on. Did you just say you banged Charles? When did this happen? Oh, well,
he comes over for dinner.
Get your bag, get your toothbrush, get everything out of my house right now. You're a slut. You had this man in my house eating off my plate, and you're banging this dude? You just telling me to get out. Get out. Let's go. Gotta go. You have to go. So, she's a slut, and he's a whore. And I could tell him the truth, but just be the truth.
7 years. 7 years. Yeah, 7 years.
Oh, yeah. I can tell you're a good man. You're a good man in your core, and you just have to come clean. Shut up. Like it's keeping him up at night. I can't believe she said. I can't believe you'll bang some dude's wife and then eat at his barbecue. Hey,
I know.
You want me to bring chips? You had your wang in his girl's face. Ugh.
I was like, invite him to the wedding too. I don't see how people do that. Invite people they slept with to the wedding. I'd never. What? Nah.
Would you go? I remember somebody asked me that. Would you go to your ex-wife's wedding? Yeah.
Nope.
Right after I Molotoved it, I would watch everybody run out and laugh.
Wait, right after you what?
Molotoved it.
Yeah. That's a fireball.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let me break this down for you, Kai. I got your white girl. A Molotov is an alcoholic bottle that has a rag in it. You set it on fire, and when you throw it, the bottle breaks and sets everything on fire. It's a fireball.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I had to be a white girl because I didn't know what that was.
Like,
Char, did you know what that was?
Well,
Char, wait a minute. Hold on. You're asking cosmonaut Char if she knows what a Molotov is? She's on Mars somewhere right now.
All right, never mind.
Look at her. She still didn't. She didn't even respond. Look at her.
She's like, huh?
Huh? What?
Let it ride. Like poker, let it ride. Not poker, blackwood. Sorry.
Never mind.
Let it ride.
What does that mean?
Leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Anyways, okay, thank you for telling me. Anyways.
That's a chiasm, listeners.
What's a chiasm? Not asking what a slang word means?
Of your mind.
It's one of those moments like the Kai did not know that at all. I mean, because you do act white sometimes, whatever that means. So that's a chiasm. When Kai sounds like a white girl,
slang. My bad for not following slang. I don't know what words are, and I'm not afraid to ask.
It's not
slang. That's not slang. That's not slang.
Cocktail. That's what they call
well, I don't know. Well, I don't know that word. I've never had to use it in conversation before, so.
Yeah, that's right. She doesn't hang with the Negroes.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Anyways, so right now, so far, we've had a bunch of, it's on the tip of my tongue, I don't know, ooh, can you tell me? We have one, which is the only person that always calls in. She says, but she didn't say the word correctly, so I don't know if we should give it to her. She said the word, but she hasn't said it how Char says it. So I'm trying to see if we should give it to her, or what should we do?
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Tell her call in. Tell her call in. No, tell her call in.
Yeah, call in.
All right. Listener, go ahead and call in.
Yeah,
but I have to say, should we give it to her if she doesn't say it how Char says it? That's the thing.
No.
That's the whole concept.
No,
you have to say it. Yeah, you have to say it how Char says it.
We got to hear it, though. You can't text that. You can't text that. You got to hear it.
Exactly.
So if not,
Char doesn't even remember. Let me put this out there. Don't feel bad, y'all, because Char, who says these things, doesn't even remember what they are. She asked me what they are. I have them written down because I take notes.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of Char.
I've been writing it down over the years. Every time I have a skippo. Oh boy!
Because I'm telling you, I am making T-shirts. I'm gonna have your face on these T-shirts. I'm gonna have a picture of you on these T-shirts, and I'm gonna have the Charism next to it. I'm making shirts, and we're gonna be giving away shirts and selling shirts and everything like that. I've been writing them down.
Taking notes and taking prisoners.
Maybe these big as a smiley face shirt.
Right.
Oh, well, our listener says she's actually in Miami. She's in a crowd of people. That's dedication for you. Crowd of people still listening to us. That is dedication.
Tell her to go to the bathroom. Tell her to go to the bathroom.
No, I won't make her call in. If she can still get it, since she's the only one that's at least trying.
All right,
everybody else. No,
they're always shining behind her shyness.
But she hasn't said it how Char says it. Everybody else is telling me it's on the tip of your tongue. It can't be on the tip of your tongue this damn long.
What is it?
I don't want to put it out there because then if I put it out there, then somebody might remember and be like, oh, yeah, and they might know how Char says it.
Well, the one that just texted in, she said go somewhere and try to call quietly. If not, then, we can't give it to her because we don't,
No, I'll give her a pass because she's somewhere out in public and still listening to us. I give her a pass. But she does have to text in how Char says it, though.
Okay.
Yeah, tell her to spell it phonetically. Maybe we'll.
Yeah.
Phonetically. Is that really?
What is phonetically?
Yeah, that's a word, Char.
Did she say genetically?
No, I thought he said phonetically, not phonetically. I thought he said phonetically. I thought, did he say phonetically? Like Char, phonetically?
No, that's like not one that y'all could use. Sorry.
Listen.
It has to be an original, like you said, prior to today's show. Whew. How many times have I actually got tongue-tied and literally stuttered for a moment there? Yeah. All right, people, we know you're shy, but it is radio. If we can do it, you can do it too.
All right, so like I said, don't feel bad if you can't remember. Char can't even remember her own thing, so just absolutely don't feel bad. Kai
no, it was one word that it was one word. It was one word.
It was not one word. I could tell you how much stuff I have written down here. It's not even funny.
No, I'm saying there was one word specifically. Is that specifically? Was that it? I didn't say specifically like some people do. Specifically. No, it was Logic knew it because Logic gave me such a hard time about that word. I swear. It was not absolutely. You know what I'm getting close to.
Why in the crappity crap are you actually trying to say the answers on the air when we have a contest going?
No, because I can't remember it.
So don't remember it in your freaking head, not on the show.
Char, Shetty.
Oh, God.
You're absolutely right. I didn't
God.
get that. I missed the memo. I did. It went right over my head. Okay.
Logic, take it away.
I was going to give the answer. Oh, then I'd have to give my own gift certificate. I'll get my own gift certificate then. Just give it to me.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You'll get a public flogging.
Hosts are not qualified, everyone. So we're just joking, listeners. Hosts are not qualified for any of our contests.
That's like a producer of the Oscars casually discussing who won Best Actor while it was at like a week before, you know what I mean? Like, what's the point tuning in now? Like, oh, is that okay?
Yeah, really, right?
Just don't say anything. If I tell you to promise not to tell anyone else, this is who won.
So, if you follow us for the rest of the month, the rest of the 4 weeks on our Twitter and on our Instagram, both at No Conduct Radio, we are going to have other contests going on there. So we're going to have photo contests on Twitter, on Instagram. Just follow us to see what other contests we're dropping. So you could actually win some gift certificates, some money, free shit. So just follow us, No Conduct Radio. So I want to talk about this. I have two things to talk about real quick. The first thing I want to talk about is just black women stereotypes real quick. I want to know why all people have this stereotype that black women are just like angry black women. I have an idea, but really? I just want to know. And if they act like me, I'm white, even though I'm not. Why is it that black women are labeled angry black women? Do you think the majority of black women do constantly act aggressively and very angry?
Is that you're asking us? Do we think that?
Yeah, I'm asking. Do y'all think that?
In my opinion, the ones that I know, not really. You know, I don't really see that as. I don't see it. In all of my life, I haven't seen all that angriness. No, not really.
Logic.
How they talk.
It depends on. I hate. But it depends on what class level of people you're talking about. But it's not just black. It's just any people from that level of living.
I understand that. However, with black women, they call it angry black women syndrome. With Latina women, they say or Caribbean women, they call you feisty. Or an Italian woman, so Caribbean, Latina, and Italian, they call it feisty. But
really?
Listen, which puts a positive spin on it. But then with black women, black American women, they call it the angry black women syndrome.
Well, you know what that is. You know what that is, Kai. It's anything that has to do with black people is a negative thing. It's not truly positive from media. You know, but in the quaint words of Ice Cube, a bitch is a bitch. Regardless, like it doesn't matter who they are or where they come. Like they are what they are. Spanish girls have just as bad of attitudes as black girls.
Yeah, black girls. Yeah.
And those white trash chicks act just as bad as whatever. Like it's just who you pick. Right. You know. Now I will say this: in certain circles, there's some black women that think that's funny to act, like to be difficult to deal with, you know, where they be like, yeah, like I heard this one girl, she said that she had an ex that broke up with her, and he did the cardinal rule of death around the way, which is messing with a white girl. And she was upset, right? And she said, this is what her girlfriend said, he couldn't deal with you or deal with a strong black woman. Get with her. I was like, what? Wait a minute. I was like, what are you talking about? What does that mean? And he was like, he had to go get a white girl because he couldn't deal. I said, why should any person have to deal with anybody?
Right. Exactly.
If you are being difficult, I have a right to leave and be with somebody that's less difficult.
Right.
You know, if you got the idea that there aren't horrible Asian women around that drive their husbands crazy with their nagging, you're an idiot. If you think all Asian women are demure, especially in this day and age, try dating a Filipino. They will make you want to beat them in the head with a brick. You know, they have certain attitudes. If they are that kind of person, you can get yourself a sweet black woman. You know, you can get yourself a sweet anything. But if you are a crabby person who is constantly complaining and nagging, that is a good one-way ticket out of a dude's life. No guy wants to do battle in the world of working some blue-collar job. He's in traffic all day, and he's had a hard, whatever he's dealing with. Then he gets home, and you're and then you're expecting him then to think all of that while you're yelling at him in your stretched out neck-hole T-shirt to find you irresistibly sexy. So he's going to jump in the shower and then give you some of that porn star loving and then say, now you stay here. I'm going to go make myself dinner because I know it's been a hard day for you and you couldn't hook me up. So I'm going to clean the house while I'm out there. Don't you worry. You just sit there and bask in it, baby.
It's not happening.
That's right. Got it on for me. Get out of here. Beat it.
Please. Out.
Well, I was just wondering why people do have those stereotypes about black women, but when it comes to any other women, it's a positive spin on it. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're black.
No, I mean it's thinking something negative is cute. Just like what do they say? Italian women will constantly argue with you, and you're going to have to deal with that fiery.
Short tongue.
I saw a commercial. I don't even know what it was for, but it was this Italian couple. The dude walked in and said, "Honey, I'm home." She broke a dish and was like, "What is it, Dad? And they started. I think it was ice cream, right? And they got the ice cream. It was like, oh yeah. Did you?
How do you know she wasn't Greek? And maybe she was breaking the dishes.
She was
continue the story, logic.
Italian.
She's speaking Italian.
No, I'm just saying, in a Greek culture, you break dishes. It doesn't mean you're angry. It means
they
you're
don't speak Italian in Greece.
Well, Mediterranean.
Mars.
Y'all can't use that one either.
Have mercy.
Mediterranean.
Anyway.
Mars.
So, she did the dish and, was immediately like, and he was like, what are you talking about, blah, blah, blah. And then they start eating this ice cream and then was in love again. And then he said something about, did you do this or did you get this today? And she immediately said, I always have to do it. And like went back to arguing with him. And it's like, that's the stereotype that they're such a fiery group of women out there.
Hot-tempered.
Let a chick break a dish on purpose. Like, did that slip, or did you break that because you was upset? I'm upset.
That's a black man.
Okay. There's a suitcase upstairs. Take it. I'll get another one. Get out.
I'm trying to figure out what this ice cream is. I want that ice cream if it makes you that calm. You know what, Kai? Spicy does not necessarily mean something positive. It sometimes means hot-tempered in certain cultures, especially Latin cultures, for example. So it doesn't always mean something positive. Spicy could mean hot-tempered.
But you got to look in the Hollywood, the movies. The movies how they have all the black women always angry and arguing their husbands, spouse, or whatever, the kids. you never see they portray a black woman as you know, timid and all that kind of stuff. If they do, they're always arguing and it just off the chain black woman. So just angry.
Oh, it was Haagen-Dazs. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah, I can believe that. It does make you feel in love. It makes you feel calm. It releases endorphins. It releases endorphins in your brain. You know, a hormone that's released when you eat chocolate. It's the same type of concept. It's very temporary, but it's true. Why do you think people give chocolate on Valentine's Day? When you eat chocolate, you feel happy. Look at the Hershey. Look at the Hershey. The M&M commercial.
Because the media told them to get your girlfriend some chocolate.
The reason that people get chocolate is because the white man has been telling culture that they need to buy his product.
Thank you.
Brother. So temporarily, like you're in love. It releases an actual hormone. It's real, guys. It's temporary, but it feels good for a moment.
Yes,
why do you think the M&M commercials are being happy?
That's not why they give chocolate on Valentine's Day. They give chocolate on Valentine's Day because the man said to give chocolate on Valentine's Day. Anyways, I have one last question before we get off the air. So I saw this on my Facebook wall. They didn't send this to us. It's just a random question somebody was asking, I guess, their followers. So I wanted to know y'all's take on it. So he says, sometimes I feel like I want to spoil my ex-wife, but then I remembered that she divorced me. However, she is the greatest mother I've ever seen. Should she be spoiled anyway? So people were all talking about, don't burn your bridges. Hold on. Don't burn your bridges. Yeah, without a doubt. She's a strong black woman. You should honor her. Yes, spoil that woman. Blah, 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 blah. So after all of those questions, I said, why did she divorce you? Nobody asked that.
Exactly.
So I asked that. Why did she divorce you? And his answer was because he wouldn't obey God's orders at the time. So I guess he wasn't religious and he wouldn't do what he was supposed to do religiously, so she divorced him.
Or you know what? Or that could be a punk way of saying that he was out there cheating like a dog, and she caught him and told him that you shouldn't be acting like that in marriage, you know. And he was like,
if he knew religion,
the Lord. You know, it was the Lord. You're a whore, sir. Why don't you say it? You're a whore.
Information. I can't go by that logic. That's logic. There's too many ways to go with that. We do not have a fact. It's very general.
Look, hold on. My point is, men only get flowery with language like that when they did something wrong. Because if it was, she was upset with me because I didn't go to church as much with her, or I didn't pray often at night or when I was supposed to, or whatever it was, he would say that. When men start getting, very evasive with their answers, like, well,
they're cheating.
In my daily actions, the Lord's rules wasn't in my mind, and what does that mean?
They've been cheating.
Well, brother, when they start throwing that in there. Sometimes, when the flesh is weak, what are you saying? Do you have a disease? I don't understand what you're talking about. Well, girl, you're a whore. You stepped down on your wife. I got it already.
It happens.
Sometimes. Yeah, it was a cover-up, right? It sounds like a cover-up, that whole
Look, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of women need, either fathers or big brothers in their life to tell them that, because men don't use a lot of metaphors like that. Men are very direct when they're talking about something, and it's the facts. It's not feelings or whatever. It's the facts. Who, what, where, when, why, how. We'll tell you what it was. But when dudes start getting very metaphorical with their sentences. Yeah, it's more than likely it had something to do with he was cheating. He was wrong. He was wrong somewhere, definitely. And he
read down the line.
Say it.
So, do you think he should spoil her because she's an amazing mother?
Listen, she's an ex. Right. You shouldn't spoil anything. If she's a good mother to your kids, then what you do is make sure you're up on your child support if you have it, And
Yep.
if she ever needs this, I hope that if he was a whore, that she is with a fantastic guy now. And guess what? When they ever want to go out and go on town, you go ahead and take it on the chin, brother, and watch your kid while she goes out on that date.
And be spoiled by her man, right?
Because if you want to get closer with the rules of the Lord.
Okay, well, I just saw that, and I thought it was funny that everybody just kept saying, spoil her, but nobody ever asked, well, why did she divorce you? Because that would be my first question. Well, if she divorced you based on something you did, then, yeah, I could see why you would want to spoil her if she's a good woman and you were the, douchebag or whatever. But if she's the one who cheated on you, she divorced you, I don't understand the question. Because my first instinct was to write, you have nothing to do with her anymore, spoil your kids. But then I was like, wait a second, why did she divorce you? So that was my first question. And then I wanted to bring that to y'all. And I just thought everybody was just, the people answering him were just, I don't know how to nicely put it, just sheep. This whole thing about black women are queens, black women are, they should be spoiled, they're strong black women, and just, to me it's crap. Personally, to me it's crap. And if anybody emails me or texts me talking about my mama's black, I'm going to slap you. I know exactly what my mom is. And I agree that women who deserve to be spoiled should be spoiled, whether you're black, white, Asian, Latina, it doesn't matter. But this whole, she's a strong black woman, she deserves to be worshipped and spoiled and, crap. Just absolute crap. Just because you're black doesn't mean I deserve to spoil you. My humble opinion. So when I saw all of that crap going on, I was just like, a bunch of sheep. So
okay, well that may not be true, Kai. That may not be true, but just because you're Char does mean that I do deserve to be spoiled, and it will continue to be that way. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure my casket will be trimmed in gold with pink
that
and
statement.
beautiful
I want to put it out there
flowers that you can eat when you go visit my grave.
Because you're Char,
and
you deserve to be flogged weekly.
A brand new pair of shoes.
Given a dictionary made to give away half your clothes to charity. Look, I don't know.
I can do
but
that.
Spoiling.
I can do that.
The complete opposite of spoiling, particularly because you were Char.
That's the only reason. I can't agree with it. You should be spoiled just because you're black, but I do believe a black woman is a queen because we were queens in Africa. I don't believe that.
Bullshit. It's bullshit. Y'all, black women, I'm a queen. You're still wearing weave in your head. You still can't show your normal hair. You still have a problem with having your regular kinky hair in your head. You still have a problem with being dark-skinned or having broad nose. Don't give me that crap about black women or queens. There are Asian queens. There were Native American queens. There were Hawaiian queens. There were black African queens. Plus, y'all can't ever just sit down and say,
women that have
people are
white women get
I'm
weave.
African. You want to have
white
Indian
women get
and
weave.
everything in you.
White women with filthy hair
white
get
women
weave.
get weave, but they also take the weave out of their hair and have their natural hair. Black women, majority of them, still haven't gotten to that point. So don't give me crap about black women.
They take their hair out when no one is looking, and they know they got to sit there and comb through there with that pressing comb before they get ready to put that weave right back in there tomorrow.
And
only their man is seeing it running out the house.
Because they're not. They're just black women. Just like a white woman is just a white woman. Now, if you were born into a royal family that for whatever reason they're saying that you're a queen, then I can say you're a queen. Other than that, don't feed me that crap. On this note, I want to say next week we're going to be talking about basically off-the-wall thoughts, kind of like what Char just said, where she thinks black women are queens, which I disagree with. We're going to be one of the off-the-wall thoughts we didn't get to how do you hook your bra, so we did get answers about that. We're also going to answer the question,
Shocking.
do you think many women are whores, Char, because their fathers are not in their lives? Is that why many women nowadays are whores? And don't forget our Instagram contest. So look for No Conduct Radio on Instagram. And we'll name the winner of the Instagram contest next weekend. Nobody won this contest tonight. So I'm going to give our only caller that calls in, she got close. She said the word anonymous that Char says incorrectly, but she didn't remember exactly how Char said it.
So she gets a $25 gift certificate for her effort.
We should give her $25?
Yes,
okay.
For her effort.
Well, Char says anonymous. Char says anonymous. But go ahead and send us your information to noconductradio@gmail.com so you can get your $25 gift certificate just for trying.
Winner.
We'll see you next week right here on No Conduct Radio, 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Peace out, everyone.
Have a great week, everyone. Goodbye.
Have a great week.
Signing out from Las Vegas.
Bye from Las Vegas.
Bye now. Bye now. My name means Queen Charlotte Elizabeth. Goodbye.
Oh, my God. Let me end this. Let me end it. Bye.